Hello, and welcome to the Work First Cash Assistance Program orientation. Today we'll discuss what is Work First programs and eligibility requirements, benefits, how to apply, process to get started, and helpful links. Work First is a cash assistance program designed to help families become self-sufficient. We believe that all families have strengths and want to be independent. The basic philosophy of Work First is that all families have an obligation to work and care for their children. The Work First unit wants you to reach your goals and become self-sufficient. There are two types of cases in Work First. The first are mandatory participants. These are parents who receive cash assistance for their children and are included in the case. These participants must participate in the employment services part of the program. To qualify for Work First Employment Services, you must have a dependent child under the age of 18 that lives in the home 51% of the time or more. Mandatory participants are required to participate in activities up to 35 hours a week in work-related activities. Examples of these activities are job search, education, work experience, or actual work. Families will work with a social worker to develop a plan to become self-sufficient. These families may receive cash benefits for a total of 5 years over a lifetime. An example is, Mary has 2 children aged 2 and 5. Mary wants to get certified as a nurse's assistant. She attends SPCC Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 11. In addition to this 20 hours, Mary will job search 15 hours a week for a part-time job from 1 to 3 p.m. Mary must complete all 35 hours a week to be able to receive her monthly check. The second type of case is called a child-only or payee case. These are caretakers who receive benefits for a child and the caretaker is not included in the case. These cases are not limited to the 5-year time frame, but may receive benefits until the child or children age out. The caretaker in these cases must meet certain kinship requirements such as a grandparent, aunt or uncle, or must have legal court-ordered custody signed by a judge if there is no kinship involved. All families who apply must cooperate with child support enforcement unless they have good cause, such as in a domestic violence situation. Children are required to have a yearly physical checkups and keep up to date on immunizations. Children are also required to remain in school as long as they receive assistance. Families must also meet income guidelines to qualify. Families must meet income eligibility guidelines in order to qualify for assistance. This chart shows the monthly benefit amount a family may receive based on their family size. For a case with 1 child, the amount is $181 a month. For 2 people, it is $236. 3 is $272, and it goes up in increments from there. Prior to the pandemic, all applications and interviews were conducted in person. New policy allows applicants to apply by telephone and have the required documents mailed for your signature, or we can obtain electronic signatures. This is the easiest and quickest way to submit an application. If preferred, an application may be picked up outside of Human Services, be mailed to you, or you may go to the NC ePass to fill out one online. If you fill out an application online, it cannot be submitted by ePass, but must be printed out and returned. You must fill out the application as completely as possible. The application may be emailed, faxed, mailed in, put in the drop box outside the agency, or left at the drive-through window. Once received, a worker will set up a telephone interview. This may take up to 2 hours to complete, so please ensure you have time set aside to complete the interview. If you are a mandatory participant, you will have a second interview by a social worker. This will take approximately 2 hours as well. Applicants must provide certain documents at application. Applicants are required to provide proof of identity, kinship if applicable, age, citizenship, address and living with, and provide a valid Social Security number. Submit documents timely to avoid delays in processing your case. Failure to provide documents will result in your application being denied. As mentioned earlier, cases that have a parent as the casehead are considered mandatory for employment services. These cases require that the parent work with a social worker to develop a mutual responsibility contract that outlines what the person must do to become self-sufficient. Mandatory participants will sign the mutual responsibility contract. Activities will be scheduled for up to 35 hours a week and can include job search, attending school, being on a work site, or a combination of different activities. The social worker will provide supportive services to ensure success. Work First may assist with work-related items such as transportation, car repairs, buying work-related necessities such as shoes, uniforms, or paying for short-term training classes such as certified nursing assistant. The client receives child care services and is reimbursed monthly for travel expenses. The client is required to turn in time cards weekly that verifies attendance. An additional support is that if the client completes all monthly hours, then he or she will be issued a $100 bonus check to help with expenses. It is extremely important to follow all requirements of your mutual responsibility agreement in order to avoid a sanction. The mutual responsibility agreement that is signed serves as a notice of benefits changing, so failure to comply with usual result in a loss of benefits. Some of the reasons a case may be sanctioned include failure to comply with child support, failure to complete a review, failure to report changes within 10 days, failure to sign a mutual responsibility contract, and failure to complete all requirements on your mutual responsibility agreement. Most sanctions cannot be cured and require that a family lose a month of benefits. In addition, you must reapply for benefits. These are some helpful links that are available. The first two will lead to websites where you can fill out the paperwork online. Remember, for Work First, you must print out the application and submit it. You may submit applications for other programs such as food and nutrition and Medicaid online via ePass. The third link is a list of charities available in Union County with guidelines and the services that they provide. Thank you for your interest in the Work First program, and we will look forward to assisting you if you wish to apply. To request a telephone interview, please call 704-296-4320 and speak to the Work First supervisor.